If you just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Happy Friday. Happy mother beep Friday, man. I got to try not to say the F word so fucking much on this show. But happy Friday, man. Happy weekend. We have made it again. We have made it again to another weekend. Be happy, man. Be thankful. Be grateful. You are breathing. A lot of people didn't make it to today, but you did. So shout out to y'all, man. You know, we start out every podcast with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. Shout out to my GMS fam. Make sure you tap in to the live chat. Let me know you in here, GMS fam. Check in. What up, C-Mo? What up, Really Riles? What's going on? Aries Baby G in the building. Where y'all at, GMS fam? What's going on, man? Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Look. Usually, I try to make sure I stay on task with the Friday shows, but you know, sometimes when you got to do two shows in one day, you gotta pick one sometimes. But you know, that hustle, that grind mentality, got that consistency, man. You gotta muster up that energy, man, and you gotta work towards it and push through it, man. So we are here for the GMS show, and we are gonna be here for 3Gs tonight at 8 o'clock. So make sure you go and subscribe to the 3Gs podcast, the most entertaining and funniest podcast on Friday nights. I promise you. Now, let's get into it, man. We got a couple topics. You know, today's show ain't going to be long, but we're going to have a conversation about some shit. First and foremost, shout out to My Expert Opinion podcast, man. Very entertaining podcast. I got put onto it earlier this year. Got to, you know, catch up on some things and watch some interviews that I wanted to see. And it was just it's a very entertaining but capturing environment because, you know, us, especially as a community, man, one of the places that we love to go to have conversation and be a conglomerate, so to speak, is the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody can collectively come through and chop it up with people and, you know, have real conversations, you know, have laughs and, you know, sometimes debate real heavy and almost damn near to you think somebody finna fight, but it really don't go that way because people just really passionate about the things that they talking about. And I like that dynamic, man. So it's a very good idea to have that type of dynamic because it already happens in real life. So shout out to them. But I guess there's some drama. There's trouble in paradise right now. You know, it seems like this happens with a lot of great podcasts, man, when they start out and everything is really good, really entertaining, the numbers are great, but fuck the numbers and fuck the subscribers, man. The conversation and the entertainment of it all and just the realness of it all always captures people in a different way. And it's a special thing when you have that type of chemistry, especially when you have a podcast that consists of more than one person, when there's 2, 3, 4 people, 5 people, you know what I'm saying? You guys can figure out a dynamic between each other to where it works and everybody's ideas and their opinions and their voices heard in a different way. And they all bring something to the table and they all value, you know, each other's takes on certain opinions or on certain topics and shit like that. And especially when guests come, like when you have a guest and you have people that have different questions or different things to say, you know, having that dynamic to where it all gels together, man, it's a beautiful thing. So it just seems like every time money gets involved and contracts get involved, that's when things get shaky and you get to start to see the real people that you really felt like you had a chemistry with or that you were really building a bond and a solid relationship with. And what happened is I'm assuming news broke of a new deal, but before that, people noticed that Esso, who is a co-host or was a co-host on the My Expert Opinion podcast, as well as Hynaken. If you guys don't know who these guys are, you should do your homework, do your due diligence, check them out. They all are good dudes and they contribute very well to that podcast. Most recently though, the Tony Yayo interview, you know, we got to see him and Hynaken go back and forth. If you don't know who Hynaken is, he was the one that right in the beginning of that interview, him and Tony Yayo were going back and forth because of what Hynaken had to say about DJ K Slay, rest in peace, after he passed away. Very interesting conversation. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but both the men were right in what they were in how they felt, even though Tony Yayo felt like Hynaken was wrong. I felt like Hynaken was right in how he felt, and Tony Yayo was right in how he felt. You know, Tony Yayo had a lot of love for for K Slay, and he made it be known that, you know, him hearing certain things, you know, in what he felt was distaste, he wanted to stick up for that. And somebody like Hynaken, who I'm assuming didn't have a relationship with K Slay at all, had something to say about K Slay, you know, while he was alive, and certain things that he dealt with. Maybe I don't know what the context was or what was said, but all I know is you got to respect somebody that keeps it thorough, whether you here on this earth or whether you not. You know, it's one thing to disrespect the dead, but it's another thing to fake like you sad that somebody has died when you and them have problems or you didn't care for that person before they died. So I'd rather you keep that same energy. I'd rather you be the same person you were when I was here and be the same person after I died. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect that out of people, but that's another subject for another day. So rumors sparked up, right, about a $2.7 million deal from Revolt TV, right? Here's what happened. So people started noticing that Esso and Hynaken were not, and Space Ghost are no longer a part of My Expert Opinion podcast. Shout out everybody in the chat, man. Say something in the chat if you in here, man. Check in, GMS fan. Put something in the chat. Let me know you in this motherfucker. Appreciate y'all. Shout out Southern, Binky, Bianca, Knockout. I see y'all, man. What up, Willie? What up, Queen? What up, BH? What's going on? They have been missing, and certain people kind of have questions like, where have they been? We haven't seen them. Maybe they've been working on, because Esso and Hynaken have their own podcast. If you didn't know, it's called Ear Pollution. So if you guys want to go check that out, there's a lot of real conversation that goes down on there. So there's a couple guys with some experience who, you know, have conversations about certain things out here in the industry and just in life in general. Go ahead and check them out. But they haven't been on there, so questions have been rising. And this post came up and it says, Math Hoffa signs $2.7 million deal. Hynaken and Esso in space are gone. So that's what sparked a conversation or people to ask questions. And what happened was, between these three guys right here, a post went up. Let me see. Last name first says context. Space Ghost was cameraman and the other two were co-hosts. There we go. Yeah, let me put that in context. Space Ghost was a cameraman and Esso and Hynaken were both co-hosts on My Expert Opinion. So, when this news dropped, there was a comment that was made on IG. Math Hoffa responded to that comment on IG. Esso got wind of it, screenshotted it, and posted it to his Instagram, which is still up right now. The person who made the comment, Call Me Goldie, says, no more Esso and Hynaken. Niggas got to start figuring out the business first before moving forward. To which Math Hoffa responded, this was their plan from the start. They blew a huge opportunity being pocket watchers. ... Ooh. So this is really the first that people are really hearing about the situation between these gentlemen who used to work together. And what happened was Esso, I believe, saw cap in that statement. And when he posted this, he posted it with this picture right here that I showed y'all earlier. Hold on, let me get this out of here. He posted with the picture of the $2.7 million deal, right? Then after that, he posted this saying, just tell them you wanted to keep all the Revolt TV money to yourself, Math Hoffa. It's cool. So then that sent people into a world of wonders, wondering hold up, what happened? Why is he posting? Why is he posting this? Why is he saying this? What made it get to this point? And like I said, it always ends back to money, but we want to know, like, there has to be more to this story. Y'all can't just pop up one day. See, this is what's fucked up to me sometimes about these situations. So many things can happen behind the scenes that we don't know about. Little things, close to major things. We don't know what happened behind the scenes, but as soon as comments get left or things get said subliminally or whatever on social media, that's when people start to post exactly how they feel. So with that post, Math Hoffa got wind of that. So of course the questions started coming in, and that's when Math had to post this picture of Samuel L. Jackson holding a snake. And the caption reads, here we go. Though I've seen it happen millions of times, I never thought I would be Samuel Jackson one day. My expert opinion took off, and that day came. I stayed silent and never slandered anyone. Even though I saw the slander and the subs coming out left and right, I just let them do them. One day I will tell the story, but right now I'm busy making sure we continue to give y'all the best content possible. If you know, you know. There is no $2.7 million deal. Please don't believe everything you hear. Stay blessed. Watch your back. If you're seeking any type of success, when the energy is off, expect the worst. Deal with it and keep pushing on the path God has you on. Stay tuned, Hoffa Gang. Well, Esso got wind of that and commented, crying face, crying face, crying face, crying face, crying face, crying face, crying face. And usually that happens when a person feels like another person is being completely Caparino Cappuccini. To which Math Hoffa responded, oh yeah? Okay, bet. Now, we have seen this over and over again. Countless podcasts, man. Countless podcasts. Joe Budden podcast with Rory and Maul. Jesus and Mero. Flagrant 2. Corey Holcomb's podcast. Even Craig Fax is starting to see some things happen, which I don't know their situation or if they have any contracts in hand, but it's always something going down where there's an individual who doesn't feel like they're either being appreciated or that they're getting enough shine or that they need X, Y, and Z or whatever the case may be. It could be jealousy. It could be envy. It could be just because they want to go and do their own thing. Who knows? But a lot of these things end up happening where you see a good chemistry happen and it starts to go at the Expendables. And next thing you know, it crumbles. We even seen it with the 3Gs. We seen it with the 3Gs. Shout out to Meech. You know, that situation is way behind us, man. I got love for Meech. Shout out to Meech. But I'm just saying, like, these are things that we see unfold on the internet, and these things play out. And it's sad. It's sad in my opinion, because and I don't want to make it seem like it's just a black platform thing. It's not. It's not. But when I'm talking to my people, I'm talking to my people. You got to understand, man, everything that every time money comes into play and contracts come into play, it fucks something up. It's a never ending cycling door, man. It's like it just keeps going. It's like nobody is willing to play their part, or somebody has a hidden agenda. That's always what it is. It's always either a hidden agenda or somebody's not willing to play their part. And even though we don't have all the information from this, it's just sad to see how things play out on the internet. You know, the one thing that I don't think a lot of people in the space understand is that they give off a certain perception to the internet. When you give off a certain perception, like, oh man, this thing is dope, what we got going on, all these guys, we all brothers and we all close, we all good, and we started this together. The next thing you know, people start hearing the behind the scenes shit and making people look like they were snakes, or making people look like they were greedy or pocket watching or trying to keep everything for themselves. It's like you start forming a certain opinion or forming a cloud around somebody, or trying to bank on public opinion to help validate however you feel about a certain individual. And the only thing that ever ends up happening, inevitably, is people picking sides. And most of the time, it ends up being the person that's the head of the shit getting more of the support and more of the people backing them in validation than the people who were just the co-hosts or just supporting acts or whatever the case may be. And this is why I always feel like everybody who is involved with an entity should all have equal parts in it, in a way where they all contribute in the way that they want to contribute, and everybody deserves a certain light, but also not everybody's the same. You know, there's somebody that's a part of the crew that has better attributes than you. They can come up with topics faster or better than you, or they better off the top of the dome, and just a whole bunch of different different personalities and different traits of people that you have to learn how to really coexist with it. And at the end of the day, man, you never really know somebody until you see them get around some money. You never really know somebody till you see them get around some money. Joe Budden started putting on Sherlock Holmes hats and Amiri coats. It just looking crazy. Who knew? But it takes some dedicated people, man. And my message to those guys, man, if they ever end up seeing this, or anybody ever ends up coming across this, man, is please just remain focused, man. Think about something bigger than yourself. And I really hope that y'all continue to succeed and do what y'all want to do in life. Be prepared for certain bumps in the road for shit. Like, I think there's another thing. People always forget that things like this can happen. We see it so much in the industry. We see it happen all over and over and over again. And then people get in a situation and see it blowing up and seeing they get fans and seeing things change and people popping up with deals, and they think that the shit won't happen to them because they're in the moment. But you always got to stay vigilant, man. You always got to stay prepared, stay focused, and realize that at the end of the day, don't nobody know what's best for you but you. I learned this early on, not to leave my success in somebody else's hands. Never do that. Never rely on somebody else to be the reason why you succeed. Got to stand out in some way, shape, or form. Shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to Matt Hoffa. Shout out to Esso. Shout out to Hynaken. Shout out to Space Ghost. Shout out to all their podcasts. You know, My Expert Opinion. Shout out to Air Pollution. Shout out to all that shit, man. And I hope that they continue to succeed and continue to thrive out here in this space, man, and not let any of this drama come between anything that's, you know, really important in their lives. But we'll keep y'all posted as more information comes out, because we know that there's going to be something said by each party about how things went. You know, we'll find out sooner or later. Now, Kanye West, man, we got to have a conversation, man. I need to know what y'all think. This is going to take some crowd participation. So if you hearing this live right now, man, if you in the chat, man, I got to know y'all opinion on this. Simple question. Where will Kanye's legacy, or you know what? Let me put this in a different way. How do you think Kanye's legacy will end? Bag fuel. There we go. Bag fuel is Esso and Hynaken. Air pollution is Esso and DJ Clue. Shout out DJ Clue. You're right. Let me correct that before we move forward. I had the two mixed up. That's why I didn't mention the one with DJ Clue, because we weren't talking about the, you know, those two in particular. But correction, bag fuel is Esso and Hynaken. Air pollution is Esso and DJ Clue. Now, answer this question. Where will Kanye's legacy end up? There's been a lot of conversation surrounding everything going on Kanye West, which is another crazy part about how cancel culture works. Like, people want to cancel somebody. People want motherfuckers to lose everything, but they steady talk about motherfuckers every single day. I don't get it. Man, look, if anybody ever came and offered money for me to do podcasting, oh man, that'd be interesting. Very interesting. We'll see. I mean, I believe in myself, but the way that cancel culture is set up, the way that people just talking and genuinely how they feel inside, speaking for themselves, sometimes you get deprived of opportunities and you get things taken away. That's how I feel. Simo said Ye was rejected by Skechers. Skechers. Yeah, that is something that somebody posted. Let me see if it's up here. Somebody said, after Adidas dropped Kanye West, he showed up today at the LA office of another shoe company unannounced and uninvited with a film crew. He was escorted out. The company was Skechers. Yes, this really happened. So Kanye showed up to Skechers, which here's the thing, man. I have something to say, because I've been thinking this myself, man. After everything, because I had to put it in perspective, because people were like, yo, Kanye talking about, you know, Jewish people being a part of the media and the music business. That's not wrong. They're trying to tell you that's anti-Semitic. But the thing about what you got to understand that people are holding on to, especially the Jewish community and everybody like that, is when Kanye said he was going to go DEFCON 3. We can't ignore that. We can't ignore a random outburst like that. Regardless of how you feel about certain things that you think are facts that Kanye said during the Drink Champs episode, please understand, somebody tweeting out, I'm finna go DEFCON 3 on any group of people is gonna look wild. And they're holding on to that. And I know he tried to explain what he meant by that, but, you know, people are gonna take shit for what they take it for. And most people who already don't like you or get offended easily are not going to pay attention to you correcting yourself, what you meant, or anything else that you did after that, because what you said initially is what they give a fuck about. And one question that I have is, people like, oh, he was doing this on purpose because he was trying to get away. Look at what he was saying weeks ago about Adidas. He was trying to get away from Adidas. He was trying to get out of all his contracts so he could be independent and do everything and get all the revenue himself. Well, my biggest question in that is, if you burn every bridge that you have, who is going to work with you at the capacity of these other companies that help push the brand that you have out there to be $1 billion business? Do you think there's any other entity, any other company out there that is going to shove out $1 billion deal or get Kanye to be on a billionaire status on Forbes again due to what he did? Now I'm not saying that I'm, for a fact know that Kanye only gives a fuck about the money. But hey, what business is he supposed to go for? Can we talk about that? Let's say this was his plan. Let's say this was Kanye's master plan to just do some wild shit, say some wild shit about a certain community so that he can get dropped from everything. Okay. What is his plan now? What is his because you have to have some type of distribution plan. You have to have somebody to work with to get your product out. Who is going to do it? At this point, the people who support Kanye are going to be buying his projects. Or not even buying his projects. They're going to stream them the most, but at the same time, what of his products is he going to be selling and getting out there and distributing to the public, to the masses? Who's going to be doing it? I don't know. So I really that's where I'm stuck at. That's where I'm stuck at, and I'm waiting for a good reason as to why he did what he did, and him getting dropped by everything is somehow going to help his brand flourish independently. I need to know somehow. I've thought about every other reason, but it doesn't make sense to me. Simo said, Ye better take the Shaq or Stephen Marbury route and make them shoes low cost. Shit. Yeah, he can manufacture it himself. But Ye's not going to be the one to push everything out. He has to have people that work. He has to have employees. He has to find the place to manufacture it out of. He can't just, do it all from his house. He has to do it from somewhere. He got to do it from somewhere. He said, Yay, Mark. Somebody said this too. I want to point this out. Somebody said black people were still buying Yeezys, still going to Sunday service, still going to those Donda shows, still watching his interviews, still listening to his albums, still calling him a genius. Black peers, execs, and fans. That's why Kanye's anti-black speech didn't cancel him. And that's the funny part about when people ask, oh, they didn't give a damn about when he was saying slavery was a choice or when he was talking about George Floyd, and because our own didn't give a fuck. Stop looking at the other motherfuckers we know don't give a shit about us. We know that. It's not a surprise. Every time somebody got to point it out. We know motherfuckers is racist. We know motherfuckers don't give a damn about us. But when something happens, we don't like to give full account. We don't like to have somebody take accountability. That's what fucks me up. And that is a fact right there. We let him get away. We let him do that. That's all I'm saying. We gotta take ourselves more seriously. We gotta be more, and that's what's crazy about it. It's like, in reality, the Jewish community can do what they do because they have the power to do so, they have the voice to do so, and that's just what it is. We don't have the power to do any of that. We can't cancel nobody. Niggas have said a bunch of shit about us over the. We can't throw nobody's shit away. We can't make no company do shit. It'd have to be a situation where somebody gets caught on tape. Somebody got to get caught on tape talking about they don't fuck with black people, like a Donald Sterling. And even then, they paid him out. He ain't got to worry about owning another team. He's paid out. He's good. Kanye apologized. Speaking of apologies, I got to read this quote to you too. They said Adidas didn't drop Kanye West to stand against anti-Semitism. They dropped him because their stock was falling hard. And an analyst told them in order to salvage their stock value, they needed to drop him. Nothing heroic about what they did. Speaking of heroes, let's tap in with Boosie. What did Boosie have to say about Kanye apologizing? Check this out.
This nigga gonna apologize to the Jewish community, but don't say shit to the black community. You a clown, dog. You should have kept talking about the black community. Probably you wouldn't have heard nothing from probably but Boosie. You won't fuck with the Jews. Jews gonna have your ass looking like Delonte West on Skid Row, nigga. You won't apologize to the black people. Die your fucking face, nigga.
Die your fucking face. I don't know why that shit's so funny to me, man. That shit is that's hilarious. Die your face. Die your face, motherfucker. He telling Kanye to dye his face. That is hilarious. But he's also speaking facts, man. Which is another reason why you can't cancel Boosie. Boosie somebody you can't cancel. When you got real love from your people, real love from the hood, that doesn't go nowhere. Because they don't give a fuck what you just had to say, what people on the internet canceling you about. They gonna ride for you. Soda Slim said, you can't cancel people. You did the cancelable actions. Candace ain't innocent. Candace ain't shit. Candace Owens ain't. Kundis Owens ain't shit. That's true. Simo said Adidas, Puma, Jeep, Volkswagen, etc. all have worked with literal Nazis. Interesting. Knockout Notice said, we the culture, you can't cancel us. I mean, you'll never, ever, technically, you can never cancel culture because they need our culture to push forward. I mean, that's just a fact. That's just a fact. They need us to push the culture forward. That's just what it is. I know that's just how shit moves. I finally watched the Irv Gotti, not Irv Gotti doc, but the Murder Inc. doc. And the crazy part about that documentary was them allowing Leor Cohen to just sound like the type of guy you know he is. Like, he ain't shit. Like, this is a few times in life, Irv went to Leor Cohen to try to sign artists or try to get this going, and he would lowball Irv. He truly didn't believe in him. He truly didn't value Irv Gotti as an executive or somebody, as like an A&R, somebody who could bring artists and bring talent and really curate hits, which he was doing at the time, and would lowball him. And then this nigga Irv would go somewhere else, find a deal for 10 times what this nigga was offering him, and then when he get it, the motherfucker will hit him up to, Irv Gotti, you know you're not more special than, like, it's tactics, and it be the niggas that ain't of the culture that try to dictate the culture or try to move pieces in the puzzle of the culture. Leor Cohen is somebody who, because he amassed such wealth and notoriety in the culture as being an executive and somebody that was with Def Jam, it technically brought certain artists to their knees, to where they felt like they needed him, when in all reality, how you get these people out of position is not working with them. Band together. I'm telling you, this is the type of shit that has been happening to us for hundreds of years. Certain groups would band against us and make sure we don't get an opportunity. Why in the hell do we not do that to other? Like, these people will be clear as day taking advantage of us in the culture, and then turn around and try to dog somebody who is of the culture, who grew up in this shit. I don't fuck with Leor, man. I don't, and that's something that I had to hear for myself. Calling Irv a fucking idiot and a dumbass and knowing that he was this and that, bruh. After Irv went through his shit and they all went through the whole indictment shit and they beat the case, and he came back with Lloyd, and Lloyd came out with Get It Shawty and all that other shit. Lloyd came out with some hits and the shit with Lil Wayne, You, all this shit. He came back on fire. He went to Leor. Listen to this, man. He went to Leor. This is a fucked up story, and I gotta say this because Leor is one of many. And I'm not here to do the whole Jewish people this, Jewish people that. I'm here to give you example of who Ye should have been calling out. Instead of calling out an entire group of people, he should have been calling out niggas like Leor. He know a lot of people in the industry. If you want to call out certain people, call that nigga out. Somebody who's not of the culture, who went out here dictating a bunch of shit of the culture and pulling strings and cheating his way to the top with using money as a way to down other black artists and other things that they wanted to accomplish. Listen to this, man. Listen. Irv went straight to Leor first to try to get a deal with Lloyd. He offered Irv $1 million. That's it. Only $1 million. When they cut to the camera with Leor, he was like, he should be glad that he has another life. He has another span to live his life and to be free, and he should be thankful. Be thankful, motherfucker. He's bringing you the talent. He's bringing you the artists. He's bringing you the niggas that give you #1 hits. He's bringing you motherfuckers that will keep your business flowing. Irv Gotti single-handedly saved Def Jam with Murder Inc. Irv Gotti did, not Leor, not Russell Simmons. Damn sure wasn't nobody else on the label. You know what he said? Def Jam, if they didn't crack a certain amount off of their business, if they got below a certain threshold, that a certain company that's involved with Def Jam will be able to buy that whole bitch out. And I'm telling you right now, if Murder Inc. never got signed or never went on Def Jam, there will be no more Def Jam after whatever year it was Murder Inc. got popping. Def Jam would have been done and sold to another company. That is a fact. Look it up. Irv Gotti single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, but Irv Gotti, Murder Inc. single-handedly as a group saved Def Jam. That was before the indictment. So afterwards, and he's coming to you and he's trying to come to you for a deal and trying to come to you to talk to you about what he can do, and you know he can do it because he's proved it way many times before. You lowball him and say, I'll give you $1 million and you should be happy or be thankful that you get another chance at life. I'm so thankful and I'm glad that Irv said, fuck you, eat a dick. I'm finna go over to Universal. Universal gave Irv $11 million. What you gonna choose? And I'm one person that's not all about the money, but I know what I'm worth. And I'm damn sure not worth the little measly $1 million you was about to give me to go ahead and make $50 million off of what the fuck I helped produce and what my man over here just did for you on this album. So I'm going to go to Universal. I'm going to lock down $11 million deal. We're going to go gold. They wanted to go platinum. Guess what? This is the other fucked up part. I forgot Lior had, I think it was Music Soul Child at the time. And this is the behind the scenes shit where you start seeing beefs get curated because, you know, people will do certain things behind the scenes so that they can succeed, and to shit on somebody else they got a problem with. And what happened was them trying to reach for gold or platinum, and Lior calling him and saying, basically talking shit and being like, you can't do better than me and you can't do this. And they sold, and Music sold 2,000 more copies than Lloyd. But they were bot copies. They were what they paid for. They paid for that extra 2,000 so that they can beat, just so Lior can say he beat out Irv Gotti in sales. The shady things the business does, which is why doing that shit back then, it doesn't surprise me that with the digital era and streams and how people consume music today, these motherfuckers out here boosting numbers, boosting followers, boosting streams, all types of shit. Big major artists out here who have these big egos feeling like they're gonna be the number one artist forever start catching a decline, and then they label steps in and starts boosting and paying for extra shit, paying for hit pieces against other artists who they competing with, going and boosting a record through radio or boosting a record through the streams and counting merch and other shit as album sales and not the album or the songs itself. Music industry is crazy, man. Really crazy, and it's cutthroat. And you're right, man's beat the feds. He is a hood icon. Matter of fact, let me say this one more thing before I leave out of here about Irv Gotti, man, because I took some time to shit on Irv Gotti for the things that was happening between him and Ashanti, because I don't agree with that. I'll never agree with a man out of nowhere for any reason trying to promote his shit through claiming a body of somebody who's famous and popular themselves because they want to wear that as a badge of honor. There's no real good excuse as to any of the things that he has said about Ashanti publicly. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, I had to go against that. But to speak some truth into this situation and to give him some props where props is due, he is most definitely a hood icon. He most definitely beat the feds, and he's most definitely one of the most loyal individuals that you can come across. Which is why, and I think that's a trait to people who are extremely loyal. When they feel like somebody else isn't loyal to them, that you are an imminent enemy. You are an enemy until further notice. There is no, I'm just gonna be quiet or be silent or just ignore the situation. No, I'm gonna speak on it whenever I get the chance, and I understand that. But at the same time, you don't get no brownie points when it's coming for a woman. But on the other hand, his situation when it came to Supreme, you know, you could look at that situation and have your opinion about it. But what was surprising to me, what I didn't know about their situation and how they actually got acquitted, this is my first time actually getting the details. They were trying to say that Supreme was laundering money through the label, drug money through the label and all types of shit, and they were just using drug money to fund the label. But thank God for Irv's sister, who was running the books, because she didn't just run the books and mark down every time there was a business expense. These niggas was gambling and doing all extra side shit, so she had to make sure she kept up with extra shit. So she literally, anytime any money was moved or transaction, anything, regardless if it was with the business or if it was just niggas in the office gambling or whatever, she wrote that down. She had a log. She had a purpose for every single dollar that came in and out. And when they found that out, they tried to use the excuse, oh, there was cash coming in and out of the building. They were saying that Supreme was bringing large amounts of cash in the building so that they can use it, blah, blah, blah. But they had the bank statements for it and what that money was being used for, because in the business, you can go, when you get booked somewhere, you'll tell the person that booked you, hey, I need half wired, and when we get there, the other half cash. So that's where the cash is coming from. They'll take the cash, they give it to their guy, they booker, or whoever it is that run their cash, their finances. He'll bring the cash into the building. Somebody else will take the cash to the bank and deposit it. And my favorite part, that's my favorite part right here. This is my favorite fucking part. You had the finances taken care of. She wrote down everything, every single detail, to where they couldn't even come back and put shit on Irv. That man he already had a $3 million deal that Def Jam gave him themselves, that they had paperwork for. What do you mean this man is getting drug money? What would he need to get drug money for? He's getting bread from his accomplishments. And the fact that he didn't leave behind somebody in his hood that he came up with and who he was friends with because he was in some, less than pleasurable dealings, doesn't make Irv a bad guy. It makes him being somebody who doesn't turn his back on his people. That can be used to you for a fault, because honestly, some people need to break away from that shit. Even though I commend you from not turning your back and wanting to put somebody in a position to make legit money instead of fucked up money. But some people will put you in a position where your livelihood is at stake. Irv Gotti and his brother Chris could have spent 20 years of their lives in prison if they didn't have all their finances documented. All because of their affiliation. I wholeheartedly, honestly, do not believe they were taking any cuts from Supreme at all. I just think that they had a relationship with the guy. They were cool with him. They were friends with him. They wanted to put him in a better position. So when they beat that shit and he went out to the paparazzi and talked to them about what was going on and made it clear that this whole case was about them not believing that a man of ethnic background could make it legitimately, and how they want you to turn your back on your people and not try to make a better life for somebody who they rather see locked up behind jail and in prison. He made that very clear on TV, and I know they hated that shit because he just came off of being acquitted. And then when you go back to look at the details of the case, it's exactly what he said. So, yeah, Irv may have said some fuck shit about Ashanti. Take it for what you want. But that man is a legend. And that man endured a lot just to give us timeless and classic music. So shout out to Murder Inc. Shout out to Irv Gotti. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Ashanti. Shout out to every single person that was involved with Murder Inc. because you guys did place a staple on the culture, and we appreciate you for that, and we want to give you your flowers while you're still here. Now, GMS fam, the green room, you know what time it is. If you did not do it yet, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you did not subscribe to the GMS show. I know some of y'all gonna see this for the first time, so make sure you subscribe. If you enjoyed today's show, follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hope you can see that. Hit the Cash App today if you are feeling generous. I would most appreciate it. It will help out the GMS show abundantly. So make sure, if you want to support us in a very blessed way, hit that Cash App. Put a comment under the video when the live is over. Press those algorithms. Keep those algorithms pushing for the GMS show. I want to see y'all in the comment section of this video when the live is over. I'm going to hit y'all in there too. Put a GMS in the chat. All my GMS fam, I see you. Smoke something if you got it. It's Friday. Make sure you pull up to 3Gs tonight at 8 o'clock. That's in a few hours, man. Only in a few hours. So make sure you pull up for 3Gs, baby. I see y'all. Binky Bianca in the building. Rob Justice, OG Mont. What's going on, GMS fam? I see y'all. Zoner Zone in the building. Much appreciated. Thank you for the like. Do what Zoner Zone did and hit that like button, man. Trauma in the building. I'm trying to get. It's been a good day, man. I can't complain. I can't complain. Smoke something if you got it. New GMS merch coming soon. Stay tuned. New music coming soon. Yes, that's right. I'm dropping some new music soon, man. And when I put that bitch up on this channel, I want to see all of y'all show it love, share it, play it every day. Even if you don't fuck with it, play it every day just because you fuck with me. God damn it. I appreciate y'all, man. GMS fam, the green room. Much love. I'll see y'all tonight, GMS fam. We out.